Welcome to the Traveling Image Makers Podcast, your source of inspiration about travel photography. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we bring you on a tour around the world with our guests.
I'm at the end of really a 50-day tour kind of around the world. I started right after Christmas with my family. Here, we can walk up this bridge here. So a few days after Christmas, I left my home in New Zealand with my wife and 3 kids. And we as a family started a 30-day trip around the world. We hit 6 countries in 30 days. It was really fun. It was nice because I don't usually get to travel with my family much. My youngest daughter is now old enough where she can travel with us, Scarlett. And so we went all over Asia, Middle East, and then we ended here in Venice, which is great because they had never been to Venice. My daughter she's the queen of gelato, so every day she was in charge of making sure everyone in the family got gelato, and the only rule was that we could not have the same kind of gelato twice. Yeah. But it was great. They had a good time, and then about a week ago they left to go back home to start school. And I'm staying here in Venice an extra 2 weeks, so like 3 weeks in total in Venice. We're filming 2 new videos, and we have a new HDR tutorial coming. Lisa Bentley came out. We've been doing that together. Renee Robin is out. We're spending a week doing kind of a little carnival workshop, kind of a fun thing. We don't do many workshops, maybe 1 or 2 per year. Wonderful people come out, and that's kind of what we're doing this morning. It's sort of a dreary day, which is nice, kind of moody, but we're out walking around with all our new friends from the workshop and just trying our best to make some photos. Okay. Yeah, it was a great trip. We started out in Thailand, and then India was the next country we went to. And that was a really unique experience because I found this train. It's a really cool train. And the train went all over South India. And it's like a really nice train, like a luxury train. And there are beds on it, like bedrooms, and the dining car, and like a gym, and a spa car, all kinds of stuff. It was really nice. And so the family had a great time. I love train travel. And it's a really convenient way to get around India. And we would end up in a lot of places where we didn't see any other white people or whatever. And it's great for the kids. The girls, they got these Indian dresses and wore them everywhere. And people loved my daughters, because we would go to a bunch of temples, Hindu temples, so on and so forth. And people from all over India would make like lifelong pilgrimages to these places. And for most of them, they had never seen white people before. So they were like fascinated by my daughters. One thing I really noticed that I didn't expect, but I thought was really sweet, is they would all just come over and just kind of brush their cheek. It was sort of this thing everyone did. And then they would all get photos of my daughters, and they would just be like swarmed. It was incredible. That was great. And then we went to the Middle East. Probably one of my biggest surprises was Oman, how beautiful Oman was. Just unbelievable. We were in Muscat, Oman, went out to the deserts. It was great. We have a good partnership with the Ritz-Carlton. And every single place we went to, we stayed in a different Ritz-Carlton. And they were great. I mean, the service was amazing. They had these concierges that would set us up with these incredible schedules, so we're busy all day long, everything from exploring the desert to cooking classes to you name it. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And then of course we ended up here in Italy, which is also amazing. Yeah, all this travel, I love it. I don't take any of it for granted. You go, I don't take myself seriously at all. I feel very lucky and very blessed. I'm just full of gratitude and peace. And yeah, it was really nice to spend all that time with the family, because I do end up traveling alone quite a bit, so this was extra nice, I think. Actually, what I've been doing, I've been kind of unplanning in a way. I don't plan that much. And I actually am not a goal setter. I don't set goals. None of that stuff. People always say you need to have goals. You need to have a 1-year plan or a 5-year plan or whatever. I don't think that's true. I don't know. I think this is like a myth that gets thrown around by planners. I think planners, they like infect each other's brains with how important it is to have a plan. And people just repeat this stuff as if it's the gospel, but it's just a made-up rule. And in fact, I would say that my planning is so loose that it's a lot like me in a way, right? That and I study a lot of philosophy and I do a lot of yoga and meditation and stuff, and I just kind of just believe in the universe, right? Everything works out. You kind of have to be open to the flow of the universe and just kind of let things go, and whatever happens, happens. Maybe I accidentally had the illusion that I was somehow in control of my own future, but I don't think so, really. It's like you might have let's say there's a dad in the car and he's driving the car, right? And then his son is in the seat next to him and he has like a pretend steering wheel and he's turning it the same way dad is. And the kid feels like he's controlling the car. I think that's what life is. Sometimes you feel like you have actually done something to make something happen, but really you have very little to do with it. And I think sometimes the more you fight against life, the things don't work out so well, right? I think if you just let things go and flow with it, that could be amazing. Amazing stuff happens. Like so many amazing synchronicities just accidentally happen. And the more you open yourself up to the universe, like for example, of all things, I have a friend, Cliff Bays, who's a photographer. Actually, he's my roommate at Burning Man a few times. And it turns out that he is here this week in Venice. I had no idea. We didn't compare plans. He's staying like literally 10 steps out of my door of my hotel. And we're here with our big group of people, right, from all over the world. Let's cross over here. I've never been over here before. I always try to walk back a different way in Venice. And we have our big group. We had this huge costume ball where everyone got dressed up and we went to take photos, and this big masquerade party. It was great. Anyway, Cliff happened to be here and we all wanted photos taken of each other, and that's what he does. And so he just took everyone's photos. It was great. I mean, that's a super small example, but I notice every day there are amazing synchronicities. I'm just much more sensitive to it now. And I don't know if it's because of yoga or meditation or whatever. I do have a book recommendation for people that are curious about this kind of thing. It's called The Untethered Soul. The Untethered Soul. Man, what a great book. And almost everyone that I recommend that book to, when they actually read it, they email me like after chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3, they're like, whoa, I get it. Yeah, and it says things to you that that you need to hear. I guess that's a good way to say it. Yeah. Think about that. Where would I go if I go anywhere? Where would I go back to first? So I guess I would, New Zealand. I love it. That's why I moved there about 4 or 5 years ago with my wife and 3 kids. I love it in New Zealand, really. You can take endless photos and never have to leave. In fact, I don't even know why I travel. It's beautiful back home. I'm perfectly happy back there too. So I love it there. But somewhere other than New Zealand, I might say Iceland. You can't get enough of Iceland. I like going there and being alone. I go in the summer, stay up all night. That's a nice place. It's almost like having a silent retreat, so you just kind of get, I love people, obviously. I can talk to anyone anytime about anything. But Iceland is a really magical place. Well, I'd love to go to space, actually. I'd love to do a little, extraterrestrial photography. I think that'd be really awesome. I would love to go up in a spaceship and take pictures of the Earth, or go to other planets or moons or whatever. I think that'd be pretty awesome. I would really enjoy that. I'd also like to go to North Korea, which is kind of the opposite of space. But those are just kind of two unique places that I'd like to visit, yeah. This is the Hasselblad HVD90X, or maybe it's called the H5D, or perhaps it's called the 50C. I really don't know. I don't know much about hardware, you see. I barely know what I'm doing with this, but I've been using it for the last 2 months. I'm learning, always learning, but especially with this beast, yeah. Well, you can just Google me, Trey Ratcliffe, or I have my main blog at stuckincustoms.com. Every day I put up a new photo from a different part of the world and write a little bit. And then I'm also on all the social medias. Yeah, just look for Trey Ratcliffe. Yeah.
So it's been really great to talk to you today.
Well, thank you.
And all the best for your trip back home.
Thank you so much, Hugo.